Hello there, my name is Samir. In this session, we are going to understand how and what exactly is air conditioning and why we need that and how this process all happens, right? So let's get started. First question is we have why do we need air conditioning in any space? That's the first question. What are the advantages and what are we going to achieve out of this air conditioning? That's the first question. So whenever you get this kind of question in interviews, what you need to say is first and the foremost thing we are doing air conditioning is to provide human comfort. That is the first point. Second thing, what we can do is we can control the temperatures. And the final thing, we cannot say final thing, but one of the main things out of air conditioning is the third thing is it improves indoor air quality. So these three things should be your top priority things whenever anybody asks you about this. Why do we need to perform or to have air conditioning in any space? So once we are clear with this, let us move forward and understand clearly and in detailed way what happens and how this happens. To do that, let us understand one scenario, one example. For that, let us consider this as a space, a room where any person can work. For example, let us take an office space where people are working. So for example, considering this as an office space, then we have a person who is currently wants to work there. So in office space, what else we'll have? We will have first a space, a room, and that it will have people like persons, we'll have computer tables, then we'll have lighting. Then once we are done with this, then we also have external source of heat, which is the sun, right? So all these are the different sources of heat are which are getting produced in this particular room. So once it is there, then obviously we have to provide some kind of air so that people who are staying in this room, who are currently working in this room, can be productive, can stay healthy. So that is our objective, to make people productive, to make people healthy is one of the other objectives of air conditioning. So to do that, what we are doing is we are providing air into the room. So obviously once you provide the air into the room, it will all become pressurized after some time. So that means we have to also remove some air, because the supply air alone will not help this person being productive or healthy, right? So what we do is we also take out the air from this space. So we are doing supply and we are taking the air from this room. So we call this as supply air and we call this as return air. Now the question comes, where this air is coming from? So it's coming from supply air duct. And where is this guy coming from? Return air. This coming from return air duct. Okay. The next question is what? Where is this air coming from? The supply air duct. I mean, how is this coming into this room? I mean, who is pushing this air to this room? Obviously, we are using duct here because the machine we have is at different location. So to get the air from that location to this space, so we use something called as duct. So this is the duct which is carrying the supply air. Now the question comes, where is the machine and how is that machine configured? To do that, we have something called as blower. We have a fan from which the air is being supplied through the duct into the space. So that is the objective here. Okay, so what else we have here apart from the blower? The return duct, right? We have the supply air. So that means we have, in order to supply the air, we need some kind of air. So that is why we take the return air back to the machine, and from there we'll supply it again into the space. Now the question is, how can we cool this air? How can we cool this air? That is the next question. So for that, what we do, we provide something called as cooling coil. So that means the air, whatever is coming from the room into this blower, into this box, then what's happening, this air is passing through this cooling coil. That is where the heat transfer is taking place. The hot air will become cold air and that will get supplied into the space. So that is the question. Now finally we have something else. What is that now? Obviously this air can contain some kind of particles, dust particles. It can have some kind of germs, whatever that can be, right? So we have to filter this air, we have to make this air purer. That is our objective. So for that, what we do, we provide one filter. Now this setup is complete. What's happening now, we are taking the air from the room supplying into this machine, first we're filtering it, we are cooling it, and we are pumping the air, we are forcing that air with pressure to get into this space. So finally we are done. Once we do this, what are we achieving from here? We are achieving a dry bulb temperature, a DBT of 24 degrees centigrade. So that is our objective. That is the temperature at which any human can feel comfort. That is the primary objective. But we also have something called as relative humidity. And why do we need that? Because we have to maintain humidity again to make this person healthy and productive. So how are we achieving this humidity? For that, what we are doing is we are getting the air from outside in terms of fresh air duct. That duct is coming from the FAHU, and that FAHU is located on the roof or anywhere else when on the outside. From there, we'll get the fresh air from FAHU. It will supply into the duct, supply into the plenum box. From there it will go to the machine, and then that's how it will go into the air. So now finally we have achieved this, our objective of maintaining dry bulb temperature and also relative humidity. Once we do that, then this is how the AC, the basic AC functioning, it will happen just like this. If you understand this, you understand how the AC works in, or AC design works in a system, right? So moving forward, we also have one more scenario where this return air duct will not be supplied back to the machine. Maybe you can see this case in terms of hospitals where you have ICU rooms where you don't want to take the air back to the machine because it can contain some germs. So in those cases, in many less cases, we completely what we do is we throw the air, return air directly to outside. We don't take back to the machine, just to prevent the viruses or germs in some cases. So that is what we do. So this is the one more scenario we have. However, this is what we wanted to tell you. This is what I wanted to share with you, how the AC works, what kind of advantage we have, or why we are doing this AC air conditioning, right? Plus ventilation, right? So once you understand this, I hope you got some idea about the air conditioning now. So if the people who are interested to learn more, I'll be happy to guide you further in developing or upgrading your skills. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.